of course, I'm going to add on to relative motion a lot more, but I needed to give you some briefing, some basic outing on relative motion, so that if I use the term relative velocity here and there, you don't feel lost. But I will have to add a lot of finesse to this notion of relative motion. But before I do that, let me transcend back to motion alone. So, like I told you, if velocity of the particle and acceleration are collinear vectors, means parallel or anti-parallel, then the motion has to be a straight line. Always. However, if velocity and acceleration vectors are inclined, if velocity and acceleration vectors are inclined, then the motion will not be a straight line. So we have explored this velocity and acceleration in the same direction or parallel vectors. Motion is going to be a straight line. Velocity and acceleration now not parallel. Let us see what happens. Say in an xy plane, there is a particle which is given an initial velocity u of 1 meter per second. At an angle theta equal to say 60 degrees. Alright. And it's given a downward acceleration of 2 meters per second squared and a rightward acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. It's given a downward acceleration of 2 meters per second squared and a rightward acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. Right? Now, look at its velocity. Horizontally and vertically. It has a horizontal velocity u cos 60 degrees, and initially it has a vertical velocity u sin 60 degrees. This is the initial horizontal velocity, this is the initial vertical velocity, right? Now, realize that acceleration in the y direction will not affect the velocity in the x direction. Why? Acceleration in the y direction will not affect the velocity in the x direction, magnitude of the velocity in the x direction. It will not affect the magnitude of the velocity in the x direction. And velocity in the acceleration in the x direction will not affect the magnitude of velocity in the y direction. Now, velocity in the x direction t seconds later. Velocity t seconds later in the x direction would be velocity in the x direction plus ax into t. It's a case of constant acceleration in the x and the y direction. Ax into t. What is ux? Ux is u cos 60 degrees. What is ax? Ax is plus 1 into t, right? Which is like u by 2 plus t. That's the velocity in the x direction as a function of time. Now, what's the velocity in the y direction as a function of time? initial velocity in the y direction plus ay into t. That's the velocity in the y direction as a function of time. Uy plus ay into t. What is uy? Uy is u sine 60 degrees, right now? Plus ay. What is ay? Minus 2, because it's downward. I've taken upward positive, so downward negative. So minus 2 into t. Right? Now, what is the displacement in the x direction as a function of time? Ux into t plus half of ax into t squared. That's a displacement in the x direction as a function of time, right? So, which is ux. Ux realizes u cos 60 degrees, which is u by 2, isn't it? Which is u by 2. So, u by 2 into t plus half of ax. Ax is 1 into t squared. That's a displacement in the x direction as a function of time. What's the displacement in the y direction as a function of time? Uy into t plus half of ay into t squared. Uy is what? U sine 60 degrees, which is u root 3 by 2 into t plus half of ay. Ay is minus 2 into t squared. Yes or no? Do you all understand this so far? Understand everything about these equations, huh? Now, realize that the velocity in the y direction is decreasing with time. Do you see that? As t increases, velocity in the y direction is decreasing, which means at some instant of time, the velocity in the y direction will become 0. At some instant of time, velocity in the y direction will become 0. And velocity in the x direction becomes vx. Now, at what instant of time the velocity in the y direction becomes 0? Vy is 0 at t equal to u sine 60 degrees by 2. Yes or no? This becomes 0 at t equal to u sine 60 degrees by 2, which is like u root 3 by 4. And u is say 1, so at root 3 by 4 seconds, velocity in the y direction becomes 0. Yes or no? Now, if the see, why is the body rising? It's rising because there is a non-zero velocity in the y direction. When the velocity in the y direction becomes 0, then it will not go up further. Then it will not go up further. Yes or no? That means this must be the point which is the maximum height of the particle. This must be the instant of maximum height. Maximum height means maximum value of y. Because it can't go up further anymore. Velocity in the y direction has become 0. After that, for t more than root 3 by 4, for t more than root 3 by 4, Vy will become negative. Vy becomes negative means velocity is downward. Velocity is downward. So it will not go up further. It will come down. And the y obtained at this point would be the maximum y. The y obtained at this point would be the maximum y. That means y max would be the y obtained at this instant of time t, which is root 3 by 4. Y at t equal to root 3 by 4. Y at t equal to root 3 by 4 would be the maximum height. So in this case, if you plug in t equal to root 3 by 4, you get the maximum height. If you plug in t equal to root 3 by 4, you get the maximum height. How much is it? This is, you plug in u equal to 1, u is 1 in this case, is root 3 by 2 into t, which is root 3 by 4 plus half of minus 2 into t squared, which is root 3 by 4 whole square. That's the maximum height reached by the particle. That's the maximum height reached by the particle. Right? Clear? Now, so there is a maximum height reached. that happens at an instant when the vertical component of the velocity becomes 0. Is there a confusion? Do you understand everything that I'm saying? No confusion? Now, realize that this y, when the particle started, y was 0. It's a quadratic in y. Y can become 0 at another instant of time. Y will be 0 at 2 instants of time, as you can see. That means the particle will be on the x-axis at 2 instants of time, because it's a quadratic in t. If you plug in y equal to 0, you get 2 values of time. One would be t equal to 0, which is this instant, and there is another instant when y can become 0. That means it falls on the x-axis again at a second instant of time after t equal to 0, right? That means the particle, when it was launched, it takes up a trajectory, and at some instant of time, capital T, y will again become 0. Y will again become 0. Right? So if you plug in y equal to 0 and solve for t, so if you plug in y equal to 0 and I solve for t, you get u root 3 by 2 into t minus t squared equal to 0. U root 3 by 2 minus t squared equal to 0, u is 1. It gives me two values of time. One is t equal to 0, the other one is t equal to root 3 by 2 seconds. Root 3 by 2 seconds, yes or no? No? And this t equal to root 3 by 2 seconds is capital T, Yes or no? This capital T is the time, second instant of time when y becomes 0. T equal to 0 is the first instant of time when y was 0, and y was 0 again at t equal to capital T. So capital T then is root 3 by 2 seconds. That means the time taken to fall back flat on the ground again is root 3 by 2 seconds. And in this time, this is x max, maximum value of x. How do you obtain maximum value of x? Maximum value of x happens at an instant of time, root 3 by 2 seconds, yes or no? That means to find x max, go to this equation. Put t equal to capital T. Put t equal to capital T, you get x max. Put t equal to capital T, you get the maximum value of x. You get the maximum value of x, yes or no? Nahin? Clear? Is that okay? Now tell me this. If the acceleration in the horizontal direction was changed to 2 meters per second squared, acceleration in the x direction was changed to 2 meters per second squared, how will capital T change? It will not change, because see, capital T is obtained by plugging in y equal to 0, and that does not depend on what is happening in the x direction. What is happening in the x direction? It only depends on initial vertical velocity and acceleration in the y direction. So if you happen to change this to 2 meters per second squared, it will again fall back after an instant of time, root 3 by 2 seconds on the ground. Time taken to reach the maximum height is the time when Vy becomes 0. So for Vy to become 0, it does not matter what is happening horizontally. The horizontal component velocity, horizontal component of acceleration will not have any bearing on the time it takes for Vy to become 0. That means the time taken to reach the maximum height, maximum value of y, will also not depend on what is happening horizontally. Yes or no? Do you all understand this fact? No issues with this, right?